1, 2. Oh man, the water's seeping in. Oh, I got one, I got one. Holy mackerel, there it is.
There's a famous song that goes, "Country roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia." And on this adventure, we will be following an old gravel country road that will hopefully take us to the place that one very rare creature calls home.
This is West Virginia. First time I have ever filmed in this state. Many creatures we can come across. Now it's just a matter of taking this gravel path further into the wilderness, and then we'll break trail into the underbrush and see what we can find. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Today we are working alongside field herpetologist Tim Brust, who has spent many summers researching the various creatures that call this wild and wonderful state home. And while he specializes in reptiles and amphibians, today we are after one incredibly elusive crustacean that for now, we will simply call the blue crayfish.
This is cool. We have a little stream system that is moving right through the middle of the forest. This is actually a great place to look for small woodland frogs and salamanders. Look at this.
Most of the time you imagine crayfish living in streams and rivers. However, the species we are searching for today is a variety of burrowing crayfish that lives underground. They can be found in areas known as seeps, which are defined as a wet place where groundwater reaches the Earth's surface from an underground aquifer. Similar to the fully aquatic crayfish species, the burrowing crayfish also hides under rocks. So it was just a matter of flipping the right one.
So, Tim, this is what's considered seepage. Here, Mark, take a look at this. See all this water here just in this low spot?
Yeah.
This is actually seeping out from the hillsides, right?
Yep.
So Tim tells me that this rock right here is a great example of something we should flip that may have a crayfish underneath. And I can see this is all real moist right here. You see all this water? It looks like we're just on leaves, but you peel the leaves back and you've got water. So there could actually be a crayfish under this rock. Oh, there's a lot of water there. Guess I just put my hand in there and see if there's anything in it. Oh, there's definitely a burrow right there. Oh, but no crayfish. All right, let's keep going.
From rock to rock we searched, gently flipping each one and placing it right back in the exact same spot so that we did not alter the design of the environment.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa, what is that?
That's a huge slimy salamander. Oh, and it is slippery. Oh, come here.
Got it, got it?
I got it, yes! Wow, that is an enormous slimy salamander. That's probably the biggest one I have ever seen. Now they're called slimy salamanders because they excrete a slime from their skin. It's almost like a slug. It is very, very sticky. Let me turn you like this. You gonna sit up on my fingers there? Wow, that is a giant salamander. Much bigger than the salamanders that we catch in Ohio. And look at that cool patterning. Almost looks like the spots of a spotted salamander. Now this is a lungless salamander species. They actually breathe through their skin. So I don't want to handle it for too long. And you can see I'm trying not to actually handle it, like grasp onto it, because I don't want to take moisture from its skin. But just handling it a tiny bit and my fingers are extremely sticky. Now one cool thing about salamanders is that they can actually, well, most varieties can detach their tails. It's called caudal autonomy. The same thing that lizards are capable of doing, and that helps them escape from predators, and then that tail will rejuvenate itself. Well, what a great find. It's not a blue crayfish, but still pretty cool to get this salamander up close for the cameras. All right, I'm gonna dip it in water, place it back under the rock, and we'll keep searching. Sound good?
Great start.
All right, here we go. Yeah, here, come here, check this out. Oh, come on. Oh, I got one.
Do you?
I got one. Oh. Yes, but it's not blue. It's a crayfish, but it's not blue.
Yeah, let's throw it down and take a look.
Oh, he's rearing up with those claws. Look at that. Oh man, every time. Yeah, he's just holding on with those pinchers. Oh, the next pincher's about to pinch me too. All right, little buddy, I appreciate that. can you call ahead to some of your cousins who are blue? That's what we're really looking for. I knew I was gonna get pinched. Ah, man, it's one cool little crustacean though. A little fossorial crayfish. All right, back under the rock with this crayfish. We're gonna continue searching.
You can flip rocks for hours and come across nothing. But that's what makes it fun, because there's always going to be another rock. And all it takes is flipping the right rock to uncover a jewel of the wilderness.
I'm telling you guys, you're not gonna believe how blue this little animal is until you actually see it. Actually, this rock right here, before we walk past it, looks perfect. That's a huge rock.
I think you could do it. Muscles, come on.
Oh man, I don't think I can.
You've been hitting the gym.
I don't think I can lift that one.
That's a two-hander.
That's a weird beetle. Let me just even see if it's possible.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a whopper.
Let's do it.
That's a big rock right there. All right, here we go. I'm gonna lift it. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got one. I got one. Holy mackerel. There it is.
Whoa!
That is a blue crayfish.
I told you to go for that rock.
Heavy rock. And it paid off with a blue crayfish. Look at that thing. Okay, I'm gonna leave this rock position just like this.
Here, let's come over here.
Let's back up to the trail. Wow.
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
Look at that. Can you believe how blue that crayfish is? Hold on. I'm gonna turn it like this and kind of hold it by its tail. There it is. The sapphire of the West Virginia hillsides. It is so blue. I can't believe it. It is as blue as the sky is. Look at that crustacean.
Wow.
That must be the coolest looking crayfish I have ever seen. Now, this is a species that is subterranean, which means that they have burrows that can go down as deep as 8 feet under the ground, and they will come up into those little pools of water underneath the rocks to search for food. Now, these crayfish do not grow to be very large. This is about average size, and it is a female, and the way that I can tell that is by looking at its underside. It does not have these little kind of grappling legs underneath there, where if it was a male, it would use to grasp onto a female. And I can also tell that this one has a regenerated claw. If you didn't know this, most crustaceans, especially crayfish, are capable of losing claws and then they regenerate them. So this claw right here is a little bit smaller than that claw. So at some point, a predator likely tried to eat it, it dropped its claw, and then it managed to escape. And now that claw is growing back.
So I heard that these crayfish, they can actually drown in water. So if you found one of these, you wouldn't want to release it in the stream.
No, they go in water. Their burrows oftentimes are filled with water, but they have to keep coming to the surface to breathe. Now, they do have gills, just like aquatic crayfish, but those gills allow them to breathe air. So you may be wondering to yourself, Coyote, don't you need to put this thing back into the water? Is it going to suffocate by being out in the open air? No, not at all. This crayfish is breathing right now.
So Coyote, we actually need to get some data while we're out here, correct?
That's right. It is possible that this is a new subspecies of this crayfish. Now, there are 2 recognized species, and it is possible that this one could be a third. So what we're gonna do is take some really detailed photographs and mark the GPS coordinates, and you never know, this may be a completely newly discovered crayfish. How cool would that be?
That would be awesome. Do you think they'll let us name it?
Ooh, maybe. And if we were able to name it, I would call it the sapphire crayfish, because in my opinion, this is a lost jewel here in the hillsides of West Virginia. Coyote Pack, what do you guys think? The sapphire crayfish? I like it. Well, I would say it was a pretty epic adventure today. We flipped over many rocks, we found salamanders, we found a brown crayfish, and then of course, the last largest rock revealed to us this little blue beauty.
The blue crayfish is one of the most uniquely colored animals we have ever come across. Its elusive nature and subterranean dwelling made it difficult to find, but in the end, the long search was completely worth it. As of the release of this episode, this subspecies of crayfish has officially been classified as a new discovery and is in the process of being described by scientists. And when it comes to the common name officially becoming the sapphire crayfish, well, that's still up for debate, and we are told there is a chance it may actually happen. So I'll continue to keep my fingers crossed. Venturing into the nighttime desert is not for the faint of heart, as this cactus-strewn ecosystem is laced with a plethora of nocturnal predators. Whether it be scorpions, spiders,
That right there is a black widow.
sulpugids, or vinegaroons. These arachnids are certain to be on the prowl, as they use the cover of darkness to silently hunt for their prey.
Look at that. Does that thing not look like an alien?
All arachnids come equipped with 8 legs, and most are also armed with a set of fangs or a venom-injecting stinger.
That is the most venomous species of scorpion in the United States. And he's on my hand. All right, this makes me a little bit nervous. I want to see if I can get him to just sit still.
However, if 8 legs, fangs, and stingers aren't enough to scare you, Arizona's Sonoran Desert is also home to a subphylum of creatures with even more legs, the myriapods, which consists of centipedes and millipedes. At the end of the day, both of these animals do their best to avoid humans. However, today we are going to capture one of each, so we can get them in front of the cameras for an up-close comparison.
First, let's talk about the desert millipede. Now, millipede means 1,000 feet. And each one of these little body segments has 2 pairs of legs on it. Now, there's no way that I'm going to get underneath this creature and count its legs, but I can tell you from it crawling across my arm that there are a ton of them tickling me right now. It feels like a bunch of little tiny pieces of Velcro grabbing onto your arm hairs.
Despite the name, there isn't actually a species of millipede on the planet that has 1,000 feet. On average, they have around 400, with the record being 750, more than any other animal in the world.
These myriapods have very poor eyesight. They have very simple eyes up front, so they're really using these antennae to help them navigate through the environment. And you'll see as he dances up in the air like that, he's basically looking for what his next move is going to be. If he can't feel anything with those antennae, he's kind of like, whoa, I've run out of road here. And until he bumps into something that he can walk on, he's just going to stay put until he can get those front legs planted. Now, the millipede doesn't have many predators, and that's because these little myriapods are actually poisonous. They do have glands that run along the side of their body, and if they are really, really threatened, they will secrete a nasty orange fluid, and it absolutely stinks. I actually got it all over my hands the other night. Now, if you get this poison on your skin, all you need to do is wash your hands with soap and water, and you'll be just fine. Now, I'm completely comfortable with millipedes. They don't bite. If it doesn't bite, it can crawl all over me all that it wants. But the centipede is a whole different ball game. And we're gonna get that guy out in a second and get a close look at that venomous little desert dweller.
The desert millipede is virtually harmless to humans, and if you encounter one in the wild, just admire it from a safe distance.
Okay, now we're on to the part of the episode that I have been dreading. There is no good way to do this. You just have to plop him out and go for it. All right, here we go. Ready? Oh boy. Now he's kind of like, oh, I'm on the ground and I'm on the move.
Desert centipedes can inflict a very painful and venomous bite, so I stress, never attempt what I am doing.
Okay, there we go. Now that I have his head under control, and more importantly, those fangs, I feel a lot better about this situation. Oh, look at how creepy that little desert creature is. Now, what's really interesting is that the centipede means 100 feet. Each species of centipede varies. There's no way that this one has 100 feet, but as they continue to grow and their body segments elongate, they grow more legs. Now, one major difference between the centipede and the millipede is that the centipede has a very flattened body. This allows them to fit into crevices between rocks and allows them to glide very quickly over the surface of the desert. Now, these are voracious predators. They are out here right now walking the washes and searching through the rocks for other animals. They will eat bugs, they will eat scorpions, they will eat lizards, and the ones that grow to the size of the giant desert centipede, they will even take rodents. But the bite from a centipede of even this size is going to put you into some incredible pain. That's why I want to be as careful as possible while handling this myriapod. One really interesting feature about all centipedes is that you see the back end here, this rump, you have these 2 modified legs on the back end here, which have little hooks in them. Now, this back end is pretty much a false head. It's the same color as the head is, and these 2 little modified feet on the back end here have hooks on them. So let's say you're a predator and you're coming in, you're like, all right, I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna bite his head right off. These little modified feet go up in the air, boom, and you get pricked with those little spikes. throws you off guard, the centipede spins around, and that's when you get a bite from those venomous fangs. This is not a creature that is very easy to consume.
Centipede venom is not considered deadly to humans. However, the pain has been said to keep a full-grown man on the ground and in pain for several hours. Moral of the story? Steer clear of centipedes.
I hope everybody enjoyed this comparison, the desert centipede versus the desert millipede. Both species are native to the Sonoran Desert, and I suggest avoiding both because the centipede is venomous and the millipede is poisonous.
Both of these myriapods play an important role in the ecosystem. And while they may be creepy and have a gazillion legs as compared to you and me, always try to remember that they are going to use each and every one to run in the opposite direction. There are many things that crawl in the night, and on this dark monsoon-threatening evening, the crew and I were headed out into Arizona's Sonoran Desert to find such things. Our mission was to search out a dry, walkable wash, which is an area that water flows through the desert during a monsoon.
A wash is a great place to look for creatures at night because animals would use it as a highway to either move up and down or they have to cross it moving from one section of the desert to another. And we're looking for a wash so that we can travel down it and hopefully encounter some cool creatures.
One of the most likely candidates has been causing nightmares for centuries, and if we located a giant arachnid, the goal would be to get the cameras up close, and myself even closer.
All sorts of little holes down here, but I don't see anything yet. So the reason that I'm shining my light down the length of the wash is that spiders' eyes reflect light in the dark, and this will actually give them away and give me the advantage to get close to one and hopefully get my hands on it. All right, let's keep going and see if we can find one. Ooh, got a good set of eyes. Here you go, get the light on, get the light on. Got movement right up here by this rock. Look at that. Finally. All night I thought all we were gonna find is anthill mounds. And there you have it. One big spider. Wow. Okay, just kind of approach slow. That is a tarantula. Wow, we have been out here searching for what? A solid 2 hours now. Seen nothing but ants and moths flying around by our lights. And just when I thought we weren't gonna come across anything, you have it right here. And this is a desert blonde tarantula. It's a male, and the way I can tell is that the males have dark brownish black legs, females have light tan legs, and this is about as big as they get. Males grow a little bit larger than the females. Now, I wanna stay as calm as possible in this situation. If I stay calm, the animal will stay calm. And they actually use all these little hairs on their legs to kind of sense the ground as they're walking, so it can feel all the vibrations in the ground. And you see that little defensive pose right there? He's pointing his abdomen up in the air, and you see all those tiny little furs on the back of the abdomen. You get too close to those, and those little hairs kind of flick off, and they really cause a real kind of nasty itching sensation. I know for those of you out there who have arachnophobia, this is probably your worst nightmare. Wow, that is a big spider right there. Look at that. What a handsome fella. I feel all those little tiny hairs on his legs crawling up my arm. Hold on, I don't want you going up there. Nope, I don't want you going up there. Now he is up and on my back. Is he on my back?
He's on your backpack.
This is one of the most common species here in the Sonoran Desert. Thankfully, they don't eat coyotes. And where is he? Is he off?
There he is. He's going around. He's going around
cool.
the corner.
All right, there we go. All right. I feel a little bit better now. Now, these spiders are out this time of night. They're mostly nocturnal, trying to avoid the heat of the day by staying in burrows. And what they're looking for is insects. And a spider of this size could even take down small lizards or small rodents, believe it or not. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. All right, I'm gonna put him down and gently pick him up so I can show you the underside and see if we can take a look at his fangs. But I want to get him off of my arm for this. Come down here, buddy. There we go. Now this is in no way causing any injury to the spider. It just will allow me to kind of get him up so you guys can see those fangs. I'll tell you what, if you're a moth or any of the other little bugs that run out here in this wash, you meet up with that set of fangs, it's gonna be the last meeting you ever have. I definitely don't want to be bitten by this spider. It is venomous, and it's not a venom that's really going to cause you any more discomfort than a bee sting, but still I want to be as careful as possible. Arachnophobia is one of the most common fears that people suffer from. Obviously, I'm not afraid of spiders, but I won't lie, holding a tarantula of this size definitely gets my heart racing. Have you guys ever seen a spider this big? Have you ever held a spider this big? Tell me about it in the comment section below. All right, I'll put this big guy back into the wash so we can go feast on some beetles. See you later, fuzzy butt. You know, normally on a day like this, I'd be out there in the lily pads catching snapping turtles. But today, we're gonna do something a little different. Now, when we post these Dragon Tales episodes, a lot of you write in and say, Coyote, how many times have you been covered in leeches? And the answer to that question is absolutely never. In fact, in 20 years of catching turtles, being in swamps, ponds, lakes, ankle deep to neck deep, I have had virtually 0 leeches end up on my body. The only time I think I've ever actually had a leech on me is when I've been holding a snapping turtle and one has actually crawled off the turtle and onto my hand. And even when they did, they would suction on, but they would never suck blood. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the movie Stand By Me. You know that scene when the kids wander down into the swamp and get covered in leeches and they're like, ah, we're being eaten alive. That does not happen. So what we're gonna do today is prove that not all leeches suck human blood. Now I'm sure you're thinking to yourselves, Coyote, I thought we were going to see some leech bites, and you just said not all leeches suck human blood. And they don't. But I wouldn't let you guys down. So today we are going to test what happens when my arm goes into a container with 2 different species. What I have here are 2 separate containers. This one has your common freshwater leech, ones like we would find in the pond right behind me here. These live in North America. And in this hand are the European medicinal leeches. These ones are from overseas, and trust me when I say that they absolutely love human blood. All right, what I'm gonna do now is dump the freshwater leeches into the container, and I'm gonna put my arm in there. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Here you go, guys. Look at that. They are creepy looking, but I'm not nervous right now because I know that these leeches will not suck blood. Even if they attach to my arm, it's more of them being curious and testing out the environment than it is them wanting to get a meal. Moment of truth. My arm is about to go into the container with the freshwater leeches. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. I said I wasn't nervous, but even still, putting your arm into a container with any leeches definitely get your heart rate going. Oh boy, that one looks like it's actually going towards my arm right there. You see that? Most species of freshwater leeches, especially the ones that can be found in the United States, feed on small invertebrates or cold-blooded species like reptiles and amphibians. They are rather intelligent, and this is something new in their environment. They're going right up to my arm, and they're actually turning away. Look at that. I kept my arm submerged in the container for 15 minutes and wasn't bitten by a single leech. Okay, so I think at this point we have proven that the freshwater leeches have no interest in sucking my blood. Let's bring out the European medicinal leeches and see what happens with those. The next type of leech is native to Eurasia and is likely the most famous species, as they have often been used in various medical procedures like reconstructive surgery. They live in muddy freshwater ecosystems and are notorious for feasting on blood. I just went and picked up the container of European medicinal leeches. You probably even noticed the change in the inflection of my voice. I am actually nervous at this point. These leeches are going to adhere to my arm and they are going to consume my blood. They haven't eaten in a few days, and trust me when I say that they are hungry. All right, you ready for me to put them into the container, Mark?
All right, release the beast.
Here they go. All right, this is it. No turning back now. This is for science. Oh boy.
A lot of leeches in there, Coyote.
This is gonna be crazy. All right, I think it's about time to stick my arm into a container full of leeches. Oh my gosh, they are just squirming all over the place. This is gonna be intense. Are we ready for me to be eaten alive by leeches?
I think so.
You're ready? Mark, you're ready. I know you're ready.
The camera's ready.
Camera's ready. Coyote pack, I feel like you're probably ready. All right.
There's a lot of leeches in there.
There's a lot of leeches. All right, so without further ado, I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to be eaten alive by leeches. Ready? 1, 2, here we go, 3. That gets your nerves going, that's for sure. Look at that, there's one already, boom. Just like that, instantaneous, secured to my arm. Holy mackerel. They're just like swarming towards my arm. Look at that. One on my arm there, that's 3. In a matter of seconds. My arm has been in here for, hold on, this one's like trying to go up my shirt. Go this way. Boom, another one there on my hand. My heart is racing right now. Look at that. They are all over me. Ah. Oh, I can definitely feel something happening. Ooh, it feels like sandpaper grinding against my skin. My hand and arm have been in the water for about 60 seconds, and all but one leech is now on my arm. Now, the way that the leech's sucker works is they adhere on and they release from their saliva an anticoagulant enzyme. That enzyme not only numbs the skin, it also doesn't allow the blood to clot. Now, they have teeth that are kind of in the shape of a Y. Here, Mark, look at my fingers. It looks like this, the 3 teeth of a leech. They go like that and they slice into you. And I can feel them actually cutting into my arm. And look at that, look at how that leech is bent over. It is holding on with the posterior sucker, which is the tail, and it is consuming blood from the anterior sucker, which is the mouth. And holy cow, is this uncomfortable. Ugh. It has been about 20 minutes so far since my arm has been in the water. When I pan the camera down, look at how big the leeches have gotten. They are completely swollen with blood at this point. At this juncture, I think these leeches have had enough of a feast. It's time to get them off of my hand and arm. Now, there is a right way and a wrong way to remove a leech from your body. You may think, let me yank it off. Yanking it off is bad because you can actually pull their teeth out into the wound. Those teeth get left in the wound, you can end up with an infection. Now, you may think to yourself, well, maybe I should put salt on it or put a lighter behind it and heat it up and it will be like, I'm scared, let me get out of here. That's also really bad because it will actually cause the leech to regurgitate some of its food into the wound. That also will cause an infection. Now, the best way to remove a leech is to just use the edge of your finger. And what I want to do is softly slide the anterior sucker off of the wound. Okay, you ready for that?
How do you know which is which?
Well, it's obvious that this is the anterior side, as you can see the back end is not attached to anything. And look at that leech. Oh, that one just popped off. Oop, and that one popped off too. Look at that. Well, there's also the instance where the leech has eaten enough and it's going to just release itself on its own. Those 2 leeches are so full of blood, they are done eating. Look at how big that leech is. It is full of blood, and look at the blood just pouring out of my hand at this point.
Wow.
That leech basically said, okay, I'm done eating, back into the water with me. What you want to do is just gently slide your finger over the anterior sucker. There you go, look at that. Got the leech to pop off, and then I can just pop the posterior sucker off and plop back into the water with that leech. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that one hurts, look at that. You can see the blood just seeping out. There's 4 of them right there. This is going to be the bloodiest spot. You guys ready? 1, 2. Well, there you have it, the final leech. You guys ready? Dinner's over, buddy. The blood, it's like there's a lot of water in my blood. That's the anticoagulant just breaking down all the platelets. And you can just see my blood almost looks really, really thin. And it's all about the amount of anticoagulant that actually went into my hand. I may be bleeding for hours at this point. My hand is actually numb, and that's how these leeches look at how big and fat and heavy they all are at the bottom of the tank there. The water is all red. As you can see, the drips of blood falling down into the water. It's like a shark attack happened right here in this container. That's crazy. Well, I think ultimately at this point we have proven that while there are some species of leeches that will not give you a bloody bite, on the other hand, there are definitely some that will. There are nearly 700 species of leeches found on our planet. And the good news is that only a very small percentage would even consider consuming human blood. This is not an animal you ever need to be afraid of. They do not transmit diseases and have never been responsible for a human death. As for me, I took on a massive amount of anticoagulant and bled for nearly 24 hours. In the end, was it worth it? Well, if you no longer fear going into a lake or pond, because we have proven that most North American freshwater leeches have no interest in drinking human blood, then I would definitely say that the answer is yes. Do you guys want to see something really scary?
No.
Yes, you do. Come on, let's go down to the river.
I don't know if this is such a good idea.
Oh, I'm about to show you guys the scariest thing you have ever seen. I've been thinking about this all day. I found one earlier, but at night, it'd be a whole lot better.
So where are you really taking us?
To the river.
What?
You know, rivers at night can be really pretty scary. So what we're gonna do is go all the way through the deep, dark woods and down to the river. Let's find some creatures. Ooh.
What do you see?
Eyeballs.
Where?
You see that way out there?
Where? Those are eyes. Let me see if I can see that on camera.
What is that? Mario, what is that?
Oh, I can see him on camera.
Mario,
What?
wildlife biologist, identify.
Those are eyes, guys.
Well, most logical thing is a deer, but we are in Bigfoot territory.
It could be a Sasquatch. Come on, let's go that way.
We're being watched, guys. We're being watched.
Mario.
We're being
I
watched.
can see the eyes. Oh man, there's like a creepy old shed out here.
Yep. You don't want to go in the shed. I think we've seen too many horror movies to know how these all begin. It kind of feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, an old rusty shed.
An old shed in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia. This never ends well for the people that go out with cameras and flashlights, does it? Yeah. See all this moisture in the grass? This means that they're going to be out and about tonight.
They?
It's a really good sign, yes.
There's more than one?
There will definitely be more than one. But all it's going to take is one to find out how bad the bite is.
What was that?
Did you hear that? No, not your foot. It sounded like rocks knocking together.
What does that mean?
That's actually a definitive sign of a Sasquatch calling. But that's not what we're after tonight. The odds of us seeing Bigfoot, slim to none. If we do see one, we're gonna film it. But we wanna get to the river, and I can hear it from here. Come on, just over this ridge. Ooh, this is creepy.
It's like a beach.
There's the water.
I thought I heard something, sorry.
See all kinds of reflective eyes. All right, I need a big flat rock.
To defend ourselves with?
No, to look under.
Oh.
Not there. Okay, let's venture up this way a little bit.
No, nothing. Oh!
Oh!
What is it?
There's one right here.
What?
Ah!
What is
There it is! Ah! Oh, gross! Ah!
Where'd it go?
Under the rock, under the rock. Ah, I got it. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, it's trying to bite me. Oh! There it is.
What is that?
It's a Helgermite. Oh, mackerel. That's a big one, too. Whew. Wow. All right, guys. Well, if you remember an Instagram post I made a few weeks ago of a creature that looks... Ah! It's biting me. Okay, they do bite. There you have it. Everybody want to know, do they bite? Yes, they do bite. and it is latched onto my finger right now. Oh, that hurts, but it's not breaking skin. That's, it's got a hold of me. Now, the Hellgrammite, can you see it okay there?
Oh yeah.
It's got a hold of me. The Hellgrammite is actually the larva stage of the Dobson fly. Now, the Dobson fly, you may be thinking to yourself, oh, well, is that maybe some beautiful butterfly type creature? No, it's about as wicked looking as this thing is, only with big wings and enormous front mandibles. However, those mandibles aren't strong enough to pinch and bite onto anything like the larva stage. Now, I'm gonna turn it slightly like this. Wow. Oh, it is just latched. Now, if the bite isn't enough, what they will also do to deter a predator is squirt a nasty smelling musk from their rear end. And it actually smells just like human feces and—
Ew, what? Smells like
like poop. Exactly like poop. And it is already squirted musk all over my finger. Oh, it absolutely stinks. Biting down harder. That is about the most alien looking creature I think I have ever come across. Like something out of the show Stranger Things. Okay, it's been latched onto my finger for a while now, and what I'm gonna do is just gently dip it into the water. Now they are semi-aquatic, so putting it in the water isn't gonna cause any issues, but I do wanna get it off of my finger. All right, here, try this. I'm just gonna set it down gently. So just like how I get crayfish off of me. Oh, he's not letting go. Let go. Ow! Oh, it's biting out harder. Ow, there it goes. Got it. Okay. Oh, bit me again.
man.
There we go.
Can't catch a break.
Okay, now let's take a good look at the anatomy of this creature. Look at that underside.
Wow, that is gnarly.
This is like a mix between a scorpion, a centipede, a water bug, and a tremor.
Wait, look at its mouth. That was on your finger.
Yeah, those front mandibles right there, can you see that? Those were latched onto my finger.
Yikes.
And these two back appendages there have hooks on them, just like the rear hooks on a centipede.
Ooh.
See that, how they move backwards? Ow! No! Ah, he's got me right underneath the fingernail. I'm gonna hold him there though. All right, now he's hooked onto me. Oh, there, let go. There, look at that. Oh, wow, that is so bizarre.
I don't know how you're leading this.
Ow, it's like an alien. Ah! Oh, it has all these little hooks on its arms.
Just the way it moves. It like slinks.
What did I tell you? It's like a living nightmare. Look at that. Oh, it's hooked onto me. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Can you imagine what it would be like to have one of these things crawl into your ear?
It's gonna eat your brain. Ugh. No, 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 no.
Ow! Ah! Ah! Oh, that actually really hurts. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Looks pretty good, dude.
I think it's actually poked a hole in my ear.
Ah!
Ow! What do you guys think? Hellgrammite earrings? Could this be the new look?
No.
Is it dangling down from my ear?
Oh, yeah.
Ah!
Here, can you turn to the... Oh, my gosh. Hold it there. What if it went in your brain?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I gotta get it off my ear. Now, oh! Ooh! Wow, your ears are a lot softer than your finger. That hurts. So at this point, I pretty much just have to wait for it to drop off on its own.
So you can't just take it off?
Well, if I touch it or pull on it, it's going to just bite down harder.
All right, let's, do you want me to try to get it off?
Let me see.
Ooh.
Ow!
Oh, let's see it. Show me your ear. Oh, wow, yeah.
Is it bleeding?
It's got a good crease. There's a little white speck.
Ouch. Well, I would say that this, without question, is the creepiest looking creature that we have come across here in West Virginia. All right, back under your rock, little creeper.
Oftentimes we fear things that have a creepy and alien-looking appearance. Even I'll admit, the moment I found my first Hellgrammite, I was incredibly nervous to pick it up, especially with that set of intimidating mandibles. However, in the end, I think what we all learned is that while this creature may look intimidating, it's non-venomous, and its bark, is far worse than its bite. Do you know what's creepier than one Hellgrammite? 25 Hellgrammites.
What's that for?
Well, what Mark doesn't know is that earlier today, when I was down by the river and I found the first Hellgrammite, I also found 25 of them. And I'm gonna make Mark put his hand in this bowl full of them.
Hey, Mark. Really? Well, that's cool. So you know how earlier we started this and I was like, hey, you know what I found today?
Mm-hmm.
Something really gross.
Yeah, I know the Hellgrammites.
Yeah, the Hellgrammite, right? And that was super gross. Well, I kind of didn't tell you the whole truth.
Okay.
I found one Hellgrammite, and then I kept flipping over rocks, and I found 25 Hellgrammites.
Dude.
So, what I challenge you to do right now
Oh my gosh, you really did.
is put your hand into this bowl and see if you get bitten by a Hellgrammite.
No.
Yeah, come on.
no.
I got stung
Guys,
by a
come on.
bullet ant.
Come on.
I was stung by a bullet ant, and I just want you to put your hand in there for 60 seconds.
60 seconds?
Yeah, you guys always tell me, can you last for 60 seconds? Can you last for 60 seconds with your hand in a bowl of Hellgrammites?
Ooh.
I'll count it down for you. Ready?
Wait, who signed me up for this? I didn't agree to this.
No, well, you know, Mario and I were kind of like, you know, it'll be really fun getting Mark finally bitten by something. And it's not that bad. I was even bitten on the ear and it didn't break
Let
skin.
me see these. 1, 2, 3.
There's 25
Yeah,
of
there's
them.
definitely 25 in there. That's so gross.
Okay, so you know what the line is, right?
No, I don't. What is the
You got to
line?
say your name, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the Hellgrammite. And then you got to just place one of your hands in there and let them crawl all over you for 60 seconds.
I don't know, man. You sure you don't want me to film this? Mario, come on.
No. Put you here. Give me your camera.
All right,
Just
you're gonna film it?
I'm not going to film it just so you don't drop your camera in case you get bitten.
Yeah, let's get ourselves situated. Get on the ground. We'll have a little setup.
And we're going to do this just like a normal scene here.
All right. I did find a millipede bone.
Did you?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, we don't care that you found a millipede. We care about you getting bitten by Hellgrammites.
Do you have a good shot?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping you'd say no.
Here we go. All right, Coyote Pack. Mark is going to do it.
Okay.
Director of Breaking Trail is going to enter the bite zone.
Okay. I'm Director Mark, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with 25 Hellgrammites. All right, I can't watch this.
Put your hand in there. Come on.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, get in there.
Oh, it's so creepy.
All up on you there.
Oh, they're pooping on you.
Ah, just got bit. Oh no. Oh, there's another one. Oh, God.
Keep your hand in there. Keep your hand in there. All the way in the bowl. All the way in the bowl. That's about 30
There's
seconds.
another bite. Oh, there's another bite. See my finger?
That's right.
There's another bite. Oh, they're biting me. Dude.
3, 2,
It actually does hurt.
1. All right, let him out. Oh, hold
it's
on.
on
Hold
me.
on. Oh, look at that. It's latched onto him. Let me get it. There you go.
Yeah.
Now smell your
Oh
hand.
my gosh. Oh, Mario, smell my hand.
Well, there you had it. Good job, buddy. I'll give you a stinky high five.
I'm like shaking, man. That's
It
like
hurts a
that-
little bit, right?
No, it's just super creepy.
I saw that one really got the
Yeah.
side of your finger pretty good.
Oh man.
Well, we're gonna let all these little Hellgrammites go back off into the wild, and they're going to metamorphosize into Dobson flies.
And then they're gonna be flying everywhere.
Absolutely. Ugh, I think I
right.
just got some of that in my eye.
Ugh. All right, guys, I gotta wash my hands.
Like clockwork, it's a guarantee that twice a day the tide will rise and the tide will fall. As it recedes, we have all learned that an incredible world of underwater marine animals become temporarily exposed, allowing any curious adventurer the opportunity to find and admire all sorts of bizarre creatures. In Harpswell, Maine, we came across one animal that we have been hoping to feature on Beyond the Tide since the series launched. But before we get to that alien-looking water beast, let's take a look at something that is going to make your skin crawl.
Dude, Mark, come here, check this out.
What is it?
Dude, this grass is like full of little tiny fleas or something jumping. Look at that. Whoa, I'm standing. Oh, jeez. Look at that. Listen,
You hear that?
that's like popcorn.
Sounds like rain.
I think those are sand fleas. Let me grab one.
Do they bite?
I believe so. All fleas, as far as I know, bite. I can't grab one. They're too small and fast. Jeez, you're jumping all over me. Here, come over here. Look at this. Let me check this grass. This might be better. Point your camera down right here. This is the exact same sort of seaweed, dried up seaweed substrate. Oh, I see. Look at that. I just stepped on them, and they're everywhere. Watch. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2. Oh my gosh!
What?
Look at that!
Put your hand in
What? Put my hand in there?
Yeah,
All right.
see what-
All right, here, let me peel back some more. Ooh!
What's that like?
That feels really weird. But they're not biting me. They're just jumping on me. Here, let me peel back this a little bit more. Look at that!
There are like millions of them.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Got one.
Yeah?
Look. Right there, can you see his little head sticking out?
Let's see.
I believe that's a sand flea. Whoa, that is creepy. All right, note to self, don't lay on this beach. I'm just gonna disperse some of this dead seaweed back out and cover up the sand flea city. I've never seen anything like that. Millions upon millions of sand fleas. All right, let's head this way down the coastline and see what else we can find.
As we continued down the coastline, we soon realized it was unlike any low tide scenario we had explored before. I carefully examined potential hiding spots where animals may be waiting for the tide to return. But so far, aside from thousands of fleas, I wasn't seeing a single living creature. The sun was getting low in the sky when all of a sudden, our luck took the perfect turn and put us right in the midst of an animal we had always hoped to get up close for the cameras.
Oh, it's a turtle! Oh no, it's a horseshoe crab!
What?
Look at this!
Is it alive?
Oh, it is alive! Look at that!
Yes!
Wow, I thought that was a
One of those.
turtle! Oh my gosh, I just saw the lump. I thought it was a carapace. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna gently lift it up out of the grasses here. Let's see. Oh, it's strong! Look at that! Wow!
What an
Look at its
alien.
tail going. Here, back up a little bit so I'm not sitting in the water. Whoa, look at that! Oh my goodness. That is a horseshoe crab. What a bizarre looking creature. Now you may be thinking, Coyote, is that thing going to pinch and bite you like crazy? No, they actually just have a little tiny mouth right in the center, and they have no stinger, no fangs, no teeth. Look at that back tail there. They've gotten a bad reputation because of this tail. People think that that's venomous. It actually is not. Ow, 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 but the side little spikes there are definitely very, very spiny. Let me see if I can get it to just lay in the palm of my hand. Oh, that feels really, really creepy. Now, it's called a horseshoe crab, but it's not actually related to crabs at all. It's more closely related to spiders and scorpions. This is one large arthropod. Now, it is pinching me a little bit. They do have these front pedipalps up front that they use to harvest food off of the basin of the ocean. Wow, I'm like so excited right now. Hold on, I gotta compose myself because I did not think we were gonna come across a horseshoe crab out here. Now, if you look straight on, where it gets the name horseshoe crab, let me hold it like that. Looks just like a horseshoe, right?
Totally.
And if you look right at the front of the face there, you see these little spots? Those are compound eyes. Actually, this animal has 9 eyes in total. The 2 right here, 5 light-sensing eyes on top of its carapace, and then on the underside, 2 simple eyes that they actually use to kind of sense their environment. And scientists think that the eyes on the underside are actually just left over from when they were in a larva stage.
So wait, those are eyes on the top of that?
Yes, and it looks like a face, doesn't it? You see that?
I always thought that was just like a helmet, like a shell protection.
Well, the top of this animal is called the carapace. Just like a lot of other arthropod species, this is a very dense, very hard exoskeleton. They don't actually have an endoskeleton, bones and cartilage like a human, but on the underside, look at that. Looks just like a scorpion or a spider.
Whoa. Can I touch the top of it?
Yeah.
Curious.
Totally safe.
Is it tough?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep, exoskeleton.
It's just like a turtle shell, actually.
Yep, well, I thought it was a turtle when we first walked up. And look, you've got some sort of a barnacle growing up on top of it. It's covered in a little bit of algae and seaweed. Now, here's something that you may not know, and something very cool. Let me turn it like this and just hold it in the palm of my hand. That is me holding a living fossil. The ancestors of the horseshoe crab have been on the planet for over 450 million years. And this species right here is the Atlantic horseshoe crab. There's only 4 horseshoe crab species in the world. This is the only one that can be found off the coast of the United States. And this one specifically, this design, the Atlantic horseshoe crab, has not changed in over 230 million years. That dates back to the Triassic period. So this creature was crawling around on the basin of the ocean during the time of the dinosaurs. Wow. How cool is that? Now, they do get quite a bit bigger than this, and I'm guessing this is a female. The females are about 25% larger than the males. Wow, it's almost impossible to hold on to. Look at the underside.
It does look like a stinger.
It does, and that's why people are afraid of these things. They think that they're gonna get stung. Look at this. Nope. This tail is actually just used like a rudder. Although it does have all these barbs, it's very intimidating, but it cannot hurt you at all. In fact, if a horseshoe crab gets flipped on its back like that, see, it tries to right itself up, it actually can't. And that's a big misnomer, that these arthropods are capable of flipping themselves back over. And there's actually a conservation effort that was launched in the 80s called Just Flip 'em. And the Just Flip 'em concept is that if you're walking down the beach and you see a horseshoe crab that's flipped on its back like this from like a crashing of a wave, what you're supposed to do is just gently grab the carapace and flip it right side up. Now, you don't want to pick it up by its tail because you can actually injure the animal if you hold it like that. Look at that, Mark, it's coming right towards you.
Oh, man. Do they ever come on land for anything, or are they purely aquatic?
Well, between June and August, they come very close to shore to breed. And the way that they do that is the female will kind of nestle down in the rocks, and a male will come in and latch himself onto the back of the female. Horseshoe crabs can breathe underwater or out of the water because a lot of the time when breeding's taking place, sometimes they're caught as the tide goes out too quickly and they can actually breathe air. Wow. I have really wanted to feature a horseshoe crab on Beyond the Tide, and it's kind of being in the right place at the right time that we came across one of these giants. Look at that thing. That's as big as my face is. Whoa, I do have to watch out for that tail though. I don't want to get stabbed in the eye by it. Well, how cool is this? Coming across one of the most bizarre creatures you can ever stumble upon in the tide pools, the horseshoe crab. All right, let's let her back off into the ocean.
Despite its angry appearance, intimidating spiked tail, and creepy set of legs and pinchers, the horseshoe crab is one of the friendliest marine animals you can stumble upon. If you see one in the wild, simply admire it from a respectful distance. If you see one flipped on its back, have no fear when it comes to picking the animal up and gently setting it back into the water. No matter how brave you may be, I'm willing to bet that there's something you are afraid of. Fears, or phobias as they are known in the medical sciences community, can come in many shapes and sizes. When it comes to the fear of spiders, properly known as arachnophobia, I think it's safe to say that this fear also comes with many legs.
They're looking at...
Look at this. That's a golden silk orb weaver. Look at the size of that spider. And that's a female, for sure. The males are smaller. Whoa, there's more over here. Oh, the whole side of this house is covered in them. Look at this. Wow. Look at this. Oh, look at, they're all running. Ooh, look at this one right here. And now it's startled. Whoa. Oh. That right there is a big spider. Oh boy. You know, it might be interesting. Why don't we do an episode like we did with the Black Widow, where I free handle one of these spiders to find out if it bites or not? What do you think?
Oh man, they're definitely very impressive looking. Look at that.
Yeah, a lot bigger than the Black Widow, that's for sure.
I have handled many species of spiders, and whether they are huge and hairy, like the desert tarantula, or sleek and toxic, like the Black Widow, it never fails to send shivers down my spine as they skitter along my arms.
Oh my.
onto the edge of my finger. Oh boy, okay, now she's going down my arm. She's actually spun a little thread of web, like she's becoming secured to me. Oh, I thought she was about to bite.
One of my underlying goals has always been to help people face their fear of spiders. So today, I will be handling one of the most common, yet scariest looking arachnids in Central America, the golden orb weaver. But first, I have to catch one.
Wow, that is a massive web. Look at the anchor points down here that then run all the way up into the hot zone. This spider's got a good cache of food already stored up, but given the fact that there are not too many guard strands on the outside here, I think I might be able to actually catch this one. All right, should we go for it?
Let's do it.
Let me see if I can get her to come right down.
You notice it hurt?
Definitely her. Ah, I'm losing it. Got it.
Nice.
There we go. Whoa, that is a big spider right there. And I bet anybody watching right now who has arachnophobia is thinking to themselves, Coyote, you are absolutely crazy. Okay, let's bring it out here from under the overhang. There we go. Staying completely still on the stick. Look at that. Arachnid. Wow. One impressive specimen. Ooh, okay. Going up to the top of the stick. Look at those hooked legs. That will make your skin crawl. Okay, Mark, give me that little plastic cube. Real slowly, before it drops down on me. Got it. Let me see if I can get her to slowly walk in there. Okay, there we go. Whoa. Got it. Wow, that is one intimidating arachnid right there. All right, let's get this spider into a controlled situation and see just how dangerous it really is.
Warning: spider bites can be incredibly dangerous and potentially fatal. Never attempt to catch or handle a spider.
All right, now I am gonna keep my spider stick with me just in case I need to balance the animal on it at some point. Oh boy. You see it up in its web and you're like, oh, it's not that big, until you get it inside of a clear plastic cube and it's right next to your face. It's a lot bigger up close and personal. All right, I'm going to take off my pack so I have a little more mobility. Now, like Arizona's black widow, this spider is oftentimes found in residential areas, and they build their webs all over man-made structures. So it's a species that you oftentimes stumble upon. However, because they're web builders, they stick to their webs. Now, people do encounter them because if you're out there in the rainforest, they oftentimes will span their webs between two trees. And like in one of those famous adventure movies, if you're walking through the rainforest at night, whack! You may walk straight into a web and find this spider on your person. Now, these spiders are armed with a neurotoxic venom, which will attack the nervous system of their prey. And what these spiders are out here feasting on is any sort of insect that is unfortunate enough to fly into their webs. However, some of these spiders manage to grow large enough where they can actually take lizards, and I've seen pictures on the internet of ones that have eaten small birds and bats. How crazy is that? Now, those are the ones that are in Australia. The ones here in Central and South America don't grow quite as big, and there are actually 23 recognized species worldwide. This is actually a spider people often see in Florida, and they show up in bananas. Did you know that? They're actually also known as the banana spider. They've been transported into the United States through shipments of fruit. Now, unlike the wandering spider, this is not a nomadic hunter. It's waiting for its prey to come to its web. Now, let's say a fly or a beetle gets trapped in that sticky spider silk. What they will do is rush forward and inflict a bite. That initial hit from those fangs sends the prey into shock, and as the neurotoxic venom is beginning to shut down that victim's system, what the spider will do is crawl back and just watch its prey struggle. The more it struggles, the more it becomes entangled in the web. And once it succumbs to the venom, what they'll do is come in and spin a web around the victim and then store it there. Now, based on the variety of orb weaver, they have a different potency of venom. The one that's here in Central and South America, while I don't believe it can kill you, is extremely painful. A bite from the spider will cause your arm to swell up. It'll be really bad. You'll have dry mouth, cramping in your stomach, and it's gonna be a really, really rough afternoon if I end up getting tagged by this creature. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, guys. Like the black widow, this spider is capable of giving me a pretty painful bite. But to prove to you that this spider is not just out to bite you, what I'm gonna do now is let it walk on my hands and my arm. Are you ready for this? Yeah.
You're gonna let that thing walk on you.
This is to prove, oh my gosh, I just saw its fangs. Its fangs are huge. Okay, maybe I'm having second thoughts about this. Oh boy, here we go. What I want to do is actually use my spider stick and let the spider get onto the stick first so that it feels a little more comfortable. There we go. That's a big spider. You know what I'm going to have to deal with is the webbing, just like I did the black widow. Can you see that? And the tensile strength of this web is so much stronger than that of the black widow, so I hope that I'm not tangled up too bad. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start by letting it crawl onto this hand. Oh boy, oh boy. Let me spin it for you like that. Wow, it is beautiful, that's for sure. All right, it seems to be pretty calmed down at this point. And what I'm gonna do is put the stick sideways. My mouth is getting dry, I'm getting nervous here. I'm gonna just place my hand out in front of the spider and see if it will walk out onto my fingers. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, the spider is on my arm. Okay, going up my arm. Oh boy, I'm losing control of it. It's getting back here. Let's see if I can get it onto my hand and around this way. There we go. It's got its legs up in the air. Let me see if I can keep it completely calm there. You can see my hand is shaking a little bit.
Is that a defensive position?
It's a little bit of a defensive position with the legs up in the air like that, and it's right on my knuckle. Don't bite me, don't bite me, don't bite me. Oh, I can feel all the little hooks of its legs.
What are you feeling right now? Feeling those nerves going?
Extremely nervous. I'm trying to just be super still, let the spider find a place where it feels comfortable, and hopefully it will just, oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. It wanted to go right back onto the stick. Look, you can actually see the webbing hanging right from the tip of my finger. Here, let me see if I can get it back on my hand. There we go. She's really just interested in getting away. Now remember, this spider does have a neurotoxic venom, very similar to that of the black widow. I want to just remain completely calm.
If you were bitten by this spider, to be clear, it's a very bad situation.
It could potentially be really bad depending how much venom went into my body. Okay, oh man, the webbing is so much stronger than that of the black widow. Okay, where did she go?
On your elbow, up your back.
Okay, it's coming this way. I'm gonna slowly turn. See if I can get her back onto my hand.
Yep, there you go, got it.
There we go. What I don't want to do is make any sudden movement or pull the webbing too tightly, because if she feels threatened, that is when she's going to bite. Now, the way that most spider bites end up happening is somebody applies pressure to the arachnid and they fear for their lives, and a bite is oftentimes just a warning that, hey, I am here, don't squish me. Spiders can control the amount of venom that they inject into what it is they're biting. Because I am not a potential prey item, if she were to bite me, oh boy, right on the tip of my finger there, she's completely tangling me up. If she were to bite me, it could possibly be a dry bite, or I would basically keep my fingers crossed and pray that it was not a full-on bite loaded with venom, because that could be an incredibly bad situation. There we go. She feels real comfortable there. Man, I am getting completely tangled up, and I can feel how strong that spider silk is.
Coyote.
Yeah.
You think you have a good control over the situation here?
I don't think you ever have good control when there is a spider just freely climbing
around on your body. Where does she go? Okay. Wow, I'm getting big time tangled up here, guys. Look at that, there's so much webbing. She's able to just free climb right out on top of me there. That gives me the opportunity to get rid of some of that spider silk. Whoa, just a moment to breathe there where she's not actually on my hand.
So tell us why you're doing this, Coyote. You have a reason for this.
There's always a reason for this, and the reason is that you should not just automatically be afraid of these spiders. Actually, these arachnids are doing wonderful things for the environment by eating a lot of pest insects. Now, if you're in Central or South America and you see one of these outside of your house, you don't need to be afraid of it. These spiders stick to their webs and all they're doing is catching nuisance insects. Now, if you go into that web and you try to harass the spider, obviously you may be bitten, but the spider really has no interest in actually biting me as long as I don't apply pressure to its body. I'm getting a little more comfortable now, but you always have to keep your guard up because you see how she's getting all tangled up in her own webbing? I don't want her to feel like she's getting pulled in any one direction and then end up inflicting a bite. This is a species that's only interested in eating insects, not in biting humans.
Now, you would never do this with something like a wandering spider, correct?
No, a wandering spider's venom is so incredibly potent it could put me in the hospital. A bite from a spider like this, there is the chance that a lot of venom could go into my body. However, as a human, I am not prey for this species. So the bite probably wouldn't be so bad that I need to go to the hospital. However, it would swell up, it would turn red, I'd have dry mouth, cramping in my stomach, but after about 24 hours, it would be nothing more than a red, itchy spot. You know, my nerves calm quite a bit once the spider has found a spot that it is comfortable and not walking around. You can see its mandibles and fangs are well up off of my hand right now, but if I were to startle her or apply any pressure to the top of her body, it would force her down, and that's when a bite would be inflicted. Again, I never recommend that you go out in the wild and ever try to free handle a spider on your own. You never know how your body would react to the venom if you were bitten. Well, guys, it looks like the sun is starting to get a little low in the sky, which means it's going to be close to hunting time for this arachnid, because when the sun gets low, that's when all the insects come out. So what I want to do now, ooh, she's going down my arm, is safely get her back up into her web so that she can go out and hunt for the night. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, back up in the web with you. Spiders can be found on almost every continent, and while they are all technically venomous, they do their best to save that potent bite for their prey. Unless threatened or provoked, as a human, your odds of being bitten by a spider like the golden orb weaver are slim to none. So if you have the phobia of arachnids running chills down your spine, try to tell yourself that spiders are a good thing. And whether you believe it or not, spiders are actually our friends.